Hi everyone, this is Larry Kevin. Glad you could look at this tutorial. This kind of describes the philosophy of what we're going to wait, why we do My Line in the Sand. My Line in the Sand came about by actually me. This is 2007, the graph you're looking at, and I weighed in more than I ever weighed in my life, 233 pounds. And so I said, hey, I'm drawing a line in the sand. I am not going to get any heavier than this the rest of my life. And even if I stayed at 233, at least I wasn't going to gain more and more and lose more and more lifestyle. I'm very active. I do a lot of backpacking and rock climbing, and I fly a little paraglider. And so all those things need me to keep my weight down. So I drew my line in the sand. I'm not going to gain any more after this certain weight. And then what happens is after I started charting my weight, I realized that I can actually come down. And this is my 2007 chart. And in some of the other tutorials, we'll talk about how we chart the information to get this graph. These are my lows. This is not my line in the sand, actually. There's a different philosophy on what your weight is for your to own a certain weight. But this is my lows for the week, and it'll do. First thing I want you to notice is that, is this a straight line? No, it is not a straight, oops, didn't mean to move that on you. Is this a straight line? No, it's not a straight line, and you will never lose weight in a straight line. But that's why everybody goes off their diets, because they think, I'm on my diet, and actually they probably do pretty good, like this first set of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks I went down. And people say, wow, I'm doing really good on my diet. And then, boing, you bounce up, boing, you bounce up. And look at that, I bounced up. That's a big, huge, 215, almost 215 to almost 225. So that was a big jump up. And that's when people go off their diets. They say, this isn't working. But it is working. All this weight right here is soft weight, and it's going to come off again. And then and then you just continue your battle. Now, I don't really diet very hard, and as a matter of fact, I really don't. I just kind of watch what I eat to get the numbers that I need. But one thing you'll notice is that losing weight is a lot like digging a hole. You can go out in your backyard and dig a 5-foot hole, and it's very hard. It's strenuous, hard work. The ground is hard to break. But now, and that's represented right here. We dug all this fresh dirt. But then if you go back and you fill in that dirt, boom, 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 and then you start digging it again, if you don't wait 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, that dirt comes out real easy. It's real easy to dig that hole again because that dirt hasn't compacted and become solid. And that's what we will do all along, all year long, going up and down, and we're not going to worry about it. And we're not going to worry about the fluctuations. Your weight will fluctuate, and that's why using My Line in the Sand we can stay on our diet. And by the way, I don't have a diet that I give you. You use your own diet. Whatever diet works for you to get your weight down is great. All right, if you can see here, I came down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, had 7 lows. Went real well, but all of a sudden then bam, this 215 was a big line of resistance. You can see that it lasted for a long time. Look at this look how long this 215 acted as a line of resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 weeks. So that's more than 3 months. That's a quarter of a year, 1/4 of a year. I was stuck trying to break through that 215. But we don't care. That's just the way it goes. That's the way your body reacts. All thing in nature reacts that way. It wants to stay at a certain place. My body was wanting to stay up here. This is where it liked it, and that's where it wanted to stay. Now that I got it took me 13 weeks to break through that 215, but once it did, now it wants to stay down here. And then I broke through 210, went down, bounced off of 205, up to 210, bounced to 205, came back up, and then finally that 210 was broken. But if you can see how many weeks from here to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 weeks to break through that 210 line of resistance. And then the rest of the year, I broke through 205 and even broke through 200 one time, but you can see this whole end of the year is kind of around that 205, and that's where I went out for that year, was right at 205. So am I disappointed? Well, no, not at all. Actually my goal was I wanted to lose a lot more weight than I did, but I'm not worried about it because I've drawn my line in the sand, and now my line in the sand is down here somewhere instead of up here at 233. So I am tickled pink, and you will be too when you draw your line in the sand, because I will never be 233. Matter of fact, I'm never going to be 225 again. Matter of fact, I'm never going to be 220 again. And 215, I don't know. I may jump up a little bit before I really get this established real well. But at the end of let's say 208, I bet you I'll have that 215 and 210 and maybe 205, and my lows will be down here. So just over time, little by little, we'll gain our line in the sand. We'll get lower and lower, and finally it'll be right where we want it to be. All right, go on to the next tutorial, and we'll talk about some of the charting that gave us the information
It's 7 o'clock
that we charted this on. All right, see you next time.